Hello and welcome to this video. In this video we're going to be talking about some new enhancements that's come to the world of accounting review. Now QuickBooks and accounting review are fantastic solutions for accountants to be able to make sure that the data they're looking at is as clean as it possibly can be. And in this day and age, that is so important, with us looking forward more than ever, cash flow forecasting, looking at estimates of tax, those sort of things. We need to be making sure that the data that we have on behalf of our clients is as clean as it's ever going to get. And there's been some great enhancements that we're going to make the most out of. So join me as I go and have a look at the world of accounting review in QuickBooks Online. Hello, my name is Patrick. I'm a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer with fancy new logo, that QuickBooks chap on the internet, and also head of accounts here at Boffix. Now, today's video is very exciting. We're looking at accounting review and seeing the enhancement that QuickBooks has made. Now, as a surprise to me, they didn't talk about this enhancement very much during the recent QuickBooks Connect. In fact, you had to go and dig a little bit deeper to find exactly the enhancements they are. But they're live and they're in product now, so it's definitely worthwhile us having a look and see exactly what they're about. So first of all, where are they? Well, they're hidden under the accounting review and the QuickBooks accountant area. Something I need to say at the very beginning of this video, this update here is only available for QuickBooks accountants. If you are just a normal consumer of QuickBooks, you won't see these updates. But it's still worthwhile seeing this video because it's a good way in which you can see what the accountant's doing and how they're interacting with your data to make sure it's nice and clean and tidy. Let's have a look. So you'll notice I'm in the QuickBooks accountant area. I get the accountant review. Let's look at books review to begin with. And you'll notice that there is a nice little red dot over here indicating something new for us to look at. And that's the bit that we're going to be looking at today. Now, also in here, which is worthwhile to know, you can drop down and do monthly to clean up. And when you do clean up, it also gives you an extra setting at the end of here called setup. And what this setup is all about is it's giving you your company settings, so you can see when or what type of client it is, what apps you've got connected, what payroll is available, and it gives you the chance, as you can with all of your transaction areas, to do a to-do, waiting, or done tick. So if I'm saying I'm happy that those company settings are up to date, I can press done. And then I can look at my balance sheet or my profit and loss based on whatever date I've got at the top here. So if I want to look at, say, my starting point was December 21, I started in January, 1st of January, then I can go down, I can get my report, look at my balance sheet. It's going to automatically put the date range in for me to the 31st of the 12th, 2021. I'm going to give me my opening figures. Now, if my opening figures are incorrect, well, that's where it's really, really useful. So let's keep that up on screen and go back again. Below that is my opening balance adjustments area. So I can say, where do I want my opening balance adjustments to go to? Well, in this case, I want it to go to my opening balance area. So I should have one. So in here, I could say that I want it to go to my retained profit or my owner's equity. You definitely wouldn't do it to ordinary share capital. It's an odd one that they've got that option there. Capital redemption reserve, again, I probably wouldn't put it there. And I more than likely would never put it to revaluation reserve as well. But the fact you've got retained earnings, retained profit, brought forward accounts, they're probably going to be the one. But personally, I would like the retained earning one to be one of the ones we get to post against. And I'd really probably want to see opening balance journal being there. So it turns out in this particular file, for whatever reason, my retained profit balance forward account is my opening balance account. You get different names of them for different types of client. I think it's because I selected this as a sole trader, possibly the reason. So what the point of this is I can go through these and put elements to. So say like I'm saying that although I've got a brought forward of 107k, actually I've only got, say, let's put £50,000 in there. That's what I want my figure to be. There's my adjustment. I'm going to tick that and I'm going to post that adjustment. Same with my depreciation. Let's say actually I've got £5,000 in there negative. So again, let's post that adjustment as well. And say my corporation is actually now 7,300. And what I like about this screen, it's telling you if it's reconciled or not, which is going to be really useful. And also it's telling me when I go through the other elements. What I don't like about the fact is I can't see this all on one screen. It's a little bit overwhelming. Probably like the idea if I could get rid of the zeros. I don't need all these zeros, best, or at least give me the option to see them or not see them. Ones like this I probably would want to zero off, so I could put that in as 0. Again, let's zero that one off as well and post the adjustment. Director's loan, account equity, let's zero that one off. And I'm going through basically telling what my balances should be. So I'm almost going through seeing these as a bit of a tick box. You see, the problem is I've got net wages here, and it's not going to give me an option of where to write that off to, is it? Payment, current liabilities, take that off. So my debtors and creditors haven't appeared within here at all, which is a bit of a misstep in my kind, because that's really where your big powerful ones are. I mean, it's interesting to let me write off VAT control and VAT suspense. So if I was to put this to say, round it off to a nice clear 20,000, let's say 0 on my VAT suspense account, how's it going to deal with those write-offs? So basically I've now gone through, I've said that I'm writing off these transactions, or I'm not even saying I'm writing off, I'm saying what my adjustment figure is. This is good that it's bringing in my adjusted books balance and my beginning book balance there. So it's kind of showing you what other adjustments I may have done. So if I put opening balance adjustments in already, they're going to appear there for you. That's a really handy feature. And then I can go in and press add adjustment. When I add adjustment, it's basically going to generate for me a journal entry. Oh, he did post it. All right, okay. So although I got an error message, it has posted the elements for me, so they're all clean and tidy. And then what you'll see is now that they've got the green ticks next to them showing you the adjustments posted, but it's not showing me a total figure. So like you'd expect here, the adjustment figure. So now for me to know that the figure that's on Business Bank is that, because there is no adjustment to that, whereas it's not that to that. Okay. Interesting way of kind of looking at it. Yeah, I get what they're trying to do here. I just don't feel like this is a true opening balance adjustment. If anything, it's a little bit buggy, which is a shame, but that'll get fixed within time. No problem whatsoever. But I don't really feel that this is helping me in the way that it should do, because I'm now not confident now what my opening balances are. Is it the £100 here that I still have to adjust? Is it the £5,000 without the, I don't have this adjustment element here, so I don't know. Well, no, it's that figure that I don't know. Yeah. It's a shame. I feel that this is a bit of a missed opportunity. And also the fact that it's now gone into the, figure. So if I come out of here, my balances now should be what we've adjusted. So we got the 50 and the 5 there. Again, I didn't get a chance to update my debtors at all. That didn't even show in that list. So you could be at risk of even missing those as problems. There's £286,000 of debtors here. And, imagine I only actually have £50,000 of debtors, for example. I'd want to adjust that. That's quite important. Yeah, so I do get what it's trying to do. I'm not 100% convinced on this. Maybe if we could choose the opening balance date, that might be easier for us. But yeah, I like where it's going on here, and I think this has got great potential. It's just not there yet. This isn't for me an opening balance solution. This is something else. Not sure what it is, but yeah, it's a great starting point. Makes it really easy to kind of get your head around opening balances, but I think there may be better ways of doing it. And the worst thing about this is the fact that now I've got this retained profit balance forward account here. That's the figure I should be opening balance into. That's the figure I want to be saying, well, this should be 0 because I don't have an opening balance to. Let's try and unwind it and find the differences as we go along. For me, that's my most important bit. The next thing is potential account issues. So you can see if there's more investigation. So disconnected bank feed, that's an important one. I like the fact that that's there as an option to look at. Accounts without activity in the last 90 days. Oh, that's nice. I like that. I like that a lot. So that's telling me that these bank accounts haven't had any activity in the last 90 days. So that's going to be powerful. Go through and make sure they're happy. And then the final one, so that's the setup area, with the option for you to do an additional checklist at the bottom if you want to. And then your wrap up area is new as well. So they're the brand new areas. You can see where the wrap up and the setup is all about. It's trying to give you that indication of basically making sure you set up in the right possible way. Have you made sure the opening balances are right? Those sort of things. I quite like that. I've got a lot of time for that. And then the wrap up is about making sure that you can go in there and we can go in and we can post or make sure things are being sent. If you've done all the hard work, make sure your client's accounts are nice and clean and tidy. Well, why not send them the report to prove them that, show them that, hopefully get the information they require out of the data. Now, the other new feature, though, is the ability that when you're going through and looking at some of the areas, so transaction review, accounts reconciliation, final review, they've stayed relatively the same, but they've had a bit of extra functionality. So if I am going through here and I'm going, look, these are uncategorized transactions here, I don't have any information relating to this, and I don't know what the answer is going to be. Well, now if I tick the box, I have the option to either reclassify directly from here if I did know, or I can ask the client. And it's that ask client bit that's really special. So I press ask client, pops up and it says questions about transaction categories. I can write some extra information in. I'll put a due date in there if I need to. I can see what the checklist is of the items, and I can even send a document to them to try and maybe G them up in a little way. Once I'm happy with that, press share. And that's now been shared with the client. If I go into here and I look at my view or requests, you can see that the 26th of March one's there, and I've already sent a few of them over to the client for them to look at as well. Let's have a look at from the client's point of view what they see. So once you're logged in as your client, notice how I don't have that review area now. But if I go down to my accountant area, you can see this is what the client sees. So they're going to get a request by email as well. So if I look into my emails, you see I have an email from QuickBooks saying that I've got to go in and provide some information. And that's where it will take me to when I click on this link. And from here then, you should see that I've got all of this information here. And it's giving me the chance then to give the answer. So the question they asked at the bottom here was, I need to know the transactions were so far. So if I open this transfer, I can say, well, I moved to personal. Wonderful. Done that one. That was easy enough. And then that deposit, describe what you got paid. Sold my MacBook. Okay. And press next. Done. So now I've answered those questions. Now the fact that I've answered those questions as well, and if I need to, I can provide a document. So maybe I'm going to say, oh look, here's my proof of that selling there. So upload that one, and maybe some other comments saying, I will upload these in the future. Many thanks. Post comment. So as the client, I'm interacting with this. I'm kind of ticking them off. You can see that they're sat there. I can't remember. Are they on my dashboard? No, they're not on my dashboard, which is a shame. That'd be really nice if we could put them on the dashboard, of having like an opportunity to see that those features are there. Because as a client, I'm not really being drawn to this area. It's not unless I look at my email that I'm going, oh, actually, I've got to go to my accountant, choose the right accountant, and then from there I can sort by recently updated or due date and go and refresh that if I need to. So back as the accountant then, when I look at it from the accountant's point of view then, and I overview page, so one slight criticism I have here is I now don't have any indication that my client's provided this data for me. It'll be interesting to see if it's in the QuickBooks accountant area, so let's have a look at that. So I've got these options here, but I don't know which ones of them has been answered unless I click into them. So that's one been answered. So I don't know why that's still there if it's been answered. I suppose it's because I've not completed it yet. And then it disappears. Okay. But then if I go to the client and then I'd want to go and into that client, I can't go into that client from here. So I could try and find a way to get in. No, can't get in from there either. And I got no other way of maybe boosting this, or have I got a way of saying? I suppose I could comment, couldn't I? I could say any issues with these, let us know. Post that. So I can kind of put that information in, I suppose. Okay. But if I go back to my client, books review, wrap up, client request, view all requests, and then from here, I suppose that I've got a tick list there. So it's to do. I need to know what these transactions are. So I open up the deposit. So, straight away, I mean, how do I get to that deposit from here? I know that I've got deposit on the 29th for 631. And I've got an answer. The answers can't be modified. I know I've got a document here. So that's interesting. They've given me that. Wonderful. I can't do anything really with this other than rename and delete. And I've got a comment saying that I'll update these in many banks. I can say yeah. So the only thing I can do here is see that the answers have been done, and I can say maybe it's in progress. But for me to fix the transactions, I need to remember that they're here. And in fairness, it said move to my personal there. For me, I feel like the area to do this would be from here. This is in progress. I should be able to jump into that product now and see the answer and go from there. I can't do anything with this. And now I've got this document here that's relating to this one or this one. I don't know at this point because I can't see what the problems were. And I've got comments here, but they're not relating to this transaction, or are they? So if I jump into those transactions then, let's see if we can find those transactions again. So I've got to remember that they're in my uncategorized transactions area. I only know that because I remember that bit. I know that technically I could probably search for it because it was £621 on this particular date. So I could do that, but I need that link. Like, that's the bit I'm missing. I need to see this link here. There has to be a way for me to link there for this to work perfectly. Okay, so I remembered though that they're under here. I've got the answers here. That's brilliant. I love that bit. I can see the client info coming through, and I can open up the transaction. But I suppose in fairness, I can use the reclassify option, and on this one I can go to drawings, and that one's done and dusted. So that one was easy enough. This one's sold by MacBook though. Really, I want to open up the transaction, and I want to put, instead of uncategorized, but there's nothing here is telling me that conversation that I had with my client relates to this transaction. Like, where's that information that it's because I sold my MacBook? How is the audit trail working through? Because really this needs to go to my computer. Sold items, I probably don't have a sold one, so I'm just going to put it against my computer additions at cost bit, and we'll deal with how we're going to deal with it in the accounts later down the line. But then I need to add that attachment they provided for me, but the attachment's not there. And I have no way other than downloading and then attaching. So this feature for me, I was really excited about, and I still am. I still think this is a great way for us to be able to deal with our clients' issues and questions and everything else that goes with it. I'm not convinced this is the best way of doing it, because it's a great starting point, but we don't have the whole package. Like, if I was using this as my one and only way to communicate with my clients, I got no audit trail now. So all I know is that this computer equipment, and I guess I could put in the memo that spoke to client, see correspondence on today's date, so 19th of the 3rd, right? And save and close. I guess I can do that. Oh, forgot that element of it. Oh, don't need the VAT element. It's fine. And now that's gone, and I would then go and complete that. But then I'm going to have to go client request, view request, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to say, yep, completed, done. And I guess I can go to my closed options, and I guess I can go to the 26, and I guess that's my way of then going to my documents to find the image that relates to me selling my product. And I guess it does tell me here that there's a transfer. But again, there's no way for me to, other than searching for this, so I could probably search 621, and I assume that's going to come up all right for me. But it won't, because I've got VAT issues. So I could say that it was a amount 621. Still not there. Oh, let's do the date range. So the date range, but now I've got to find back to where I was. So I'm going to go work papers, books review, sorry, client request, viewer request. I'm going to go back to my closed, back to my questions that I asked on this one. Back to the 26th of March. Okay, 29th of the 3rd, 2021. So then I'm going to go back into here. I'm going to go 29th of the 3rd, 2021. Search for that. I just need amount. I don't know what my amount is because I don't know what VAT I applied. I can guesstimate it was 20%, but I'm guesstimating at this point, so let's search. Right, I'm going to have to put my date filter in. It was the 29th of the 3rd, 21. 29th of the 3rd, 21. Press apply. And there it is. And it wasn't £621 at all. It was £745.20. One banking transaction, £745.20. Go figure. So, like, that's where this situation or this solution is amazing in every possible way for the premise of it, but the execution's not quite there yet. Which is a shame, because this is the sort of solution I would roll out day one for my accounting firm. But I feel at the moment that there's just too much of a disconnect between what it needs to be and what it is, which is a massive, massive shame. Okay, so back to more positive areas though. Work papers have had an amazing update. So from the work papers point of view, we've got now year-end tasks as an element. So you can go through and tick them off and go through, see what changes they are. The documents areas had a little bit of a refresh as well. So now you've got a few more kind of visual aids to it that's going to help you. I still really, 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 really wish that you had the option to put some numbers against this. You know, if I'm saying that my proof of balance was this figure here, I want to be saying that that's £1,200, for example. And then when I go to my review and adjust, I want it to say, I said it was £1,200. Why is it not £1,200? So we're still not quite there yet. Also, I've recently realised that this date range does not work. It's actually making it really difficult for me to deal with my clients. So we may need a way of not just having tax years, having a way where you can adjust what those tax periods are. That's just a problem with QuickBooks in general. Grouping and statements areas had a bit of an update as well. A few more bells and whistles that you can do here. But the biggest announcement was the fact that the next stage of this is then going from books to tax, which, you know, is going to open up a whole new way in which we can interact with QuickBooks, not only producing a set of financial statements, but also then having the opportunity to file them directly to HMRC as well. And Companies House is the assumption, but has it been confirmed yet? I don't know. So there we are. Some very significant updates in the world of Accountants Review, and a fantastic start, a great concept, but I think the execution hasn't quite hit the mark. And that's a real bad shame, because that feature alone of the ability to jump in, go to Books Review, go find a transaction and ask a client about that transaction straight away is a game changer. Now, for me as well, thinking about it, if I put my client's hat on for a moment, if I'm requesting an answer to this, I need more data. Like, if I go back to what the clients got to answer with, well, they were asked to tell me about a deposit, but from an account client's point of view, there's a few bugs in it. Like, this wasn't £621 anyway. That wasn't the figure. So, yes, that might be the VAT inclusive figure, but the client doesn't know that. Like, they're going to be looking through their bank account looking for £621. They're not going to go, oh, that's probably £620 plus VAT on top. They're not going to do that. So we need to be telling them the right figure there. And a part of me just feels like, why not give them a link to the transaction? Like, if there was a link to the transaction here, that's going to give them a better chance anyway. And if I'm interacting with this transaction, I should be linking that transaction. Again, when I make an adjustment, sold my MacBook here, we need that to be appearing on the actual transaction itself. So on this deposit here, I've sold my MacBook. I should be told about this. Like, that should be there for me. That should be there for me. That should be critical information that I know about and that I can deal with. And I should be able to see that there. Again, the premise of this is absolutely amazing. Love this. I've been crying out for something like this for a long, long time. A way in which you can interact with your client, get that information for you and bring it forward. But we need to A, fix those bugs. It's not £621, it's 700 and whatever the figure was. You know, we need to have that as a bare minimum. And also, we're going to have to make it so that it's easier for us as a client, as the accountant, to be able to interact with our clients on this basis. We need to be able to have some sort of indication that it was that question that came into here. And that's why we've chosen this. Because for now, I've just gone and I've put this deposit here against my computer equipment. But it's also because I wrote in this memo. And all it takes is someone else to do the set of accounts of the year end and go, what was this person doing? Well, that doesn't say anything about their MacBook being sold. They've obviously messed this up, put this to somewhere else. You know, it could go to anywhere. And then or worst case scenario, we go back to the client and say, oh, by the way, what's this? I don't know what this is. And the client's like, well, I told you that. It's already been told. And there's no way for me to go back and see that information. So again, love this premise, think it's absolutely brilliant, but there's definitely bits that need to be sorted out. But what do you think? I've been babbling on for long enough, so let me know in the comments below. I know a lot of people were excited about this. I know this was a feature that people were quite intrigued about what's going to happen, but let me know how you've been using it, what your use cases are with on it, and then we'll be able to kind of go through from there. So yeah, love books review, love working papers. Both of them are a fantastic step. It's something we've been using a lot in our practice, and we're really excited to kind of really keep going on it and making sure that we get like some extra elements of it and some real insight into what's going on. But for now though, we just need to wait for the next update, I think. And also it'd be nice to know when the update is live, because that's always useful to know, isn't it? But that's been my first impressions of the new update, my first review. Again, huge thumbs up for me for the premise, a little bit of a down, and maybe even a thumbs down for the execution at this point in time. But I know Intuit, they've got some absolute mega stars working for them, so I can imagine they'll get these sorted ASAP. My name's been Aaron Patrick. I've absolutely loved doing this video for you. So if you've got any videos you want to know, let me know in the comments below. If you could like, share, do all that jazz to make sure the algorithm loves me as well, I will love you even more. My name's been Aaron Patrick. This has been my video to you, and I hope to see you in the next video. And just a sneak peek of that next video, we've got some really exciting bits that we want to show you that got announced at QuickBooks Connect. So stay tuned. Bye for now.
I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it starts. I told him I would do it all for you, and I know you do it for me too. I can be a fighter if you want. I can be a fighter. I can be a fighter if you want. I can be a fighter. That it's real, cause I can get him out of my head. I don't care what we do, everything's feeling new. Even if we stay in bed, my heart is saying yeah. You know I want him nah. My heart is saying yeah.
Hello and thank you for watching that video. What you may not know is this channel that you've watched this video from is part of a wider group. That wider group is called Apple Core Productions, and the 3 channels that we have involved are as follows: Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks Chat, Boffix tax tip. Finally, we have Apple Core, Live and Geeky. All the links and everything are down below in the description, but it really means a lot to us if you can go and give a like to the other channels as well.